informed, unemotional investment decisions, and you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Here comes a new president, new beginnings, and new hopes, which can also bring volatile times. Many investors get spooked and begin to question their investments. But the thing to realize is that market volatility is inevitable, and it's a great opportunity to get in the stock market. No one at philsgang.com will tell you when the market correction is coming, and we will not promise you you're going to get rich, but we will guarantee you a good night's sleep. At philsgang.com, our number one goal is to inform investors who want to learn and invest in the stock market. We provide daily investment teaching strategies and the analysis of charting the stock market. You are informed around the clock with market webinars, market updates, working investor programs, and financial updates throughout the day. Plus, you'll enjoy the Phil's Gang customer service. Be prepared for market volatility and make profits with philsgang.com. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. 30% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You're probably familiar with a pillow commercial that's everywhere. It's on TV. And wherever you get the pillows, this new pillow that's out. You know what? You don't need a pillow good night's sleep. You want to make sure your investments are safe. That's where you get the good night's sleep. And that's what you get here at Phil's Gang with our technology. It's built in to show you when your stock is ready to fail, when your stock is ready to rally. That's right, it follows the money. You don't need a pillow. You need Phil's Gang. That's how you get a good night's sleep. You'll always know well in advance if the market's going to collapse or your stock. Join my gang, philsgang.com. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You know the stock market goes up 72% of the time? Then why is it that the retail customer, 80% of the time, have lost money? Because they don't know when to get out. And that's why I'm providing a product called my MV2 chart that solves that problem. It's always about when do I get out? That problem has been solved. Check it out, my MV2 chart. Don't miss it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
If you're a Phil's Gang member or a fan of the Phil's Gang show, then you need the all-new Phil's Gang hat. Now available in a variety of colors and cool comfort styles for only $25. You can show your Phil's Gang pride with the stylish Are You Nuts hat or Phil's Gang logo hat. Don't wait. Go to philsgang.com and click on the shopping cart icon to order your hat today or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Discuss any recommendation or solicitation of a seller hold. During acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
You know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess.
And boy, did he inherit a mess. Do you remember when Obama, all he ever said was how he inherited a mess? Or not a mess. I was losing 850,000 jobs every month. Every month when I first took over from Bush, I lost 850,000 jobs. Lost 850,000 jobs. That's all he ever said. That is so pale in comparison to what Trump has inherited from a two-term failed president. Trump inherited a corporate debt that doubled, giving people free money. Obama gave everybody free money. Trump inherited a national debt that doubled from 10 trillion to 20 trillion. To put that in perspective, if you take all the presidents and put them all together with all the debt they created, that's more debt. Isn't that amazing? But Trump also inherited something far worse than losing 850,000 jobs a day. A culture, a terrible culture of don't take profits and invest it back into your company called capital investment where economic growth comes from. That's where you go from 1.5% to 4%. That's when your standard of living goes up. What he inherited was a culture of just the opposite. Do not invest, do not save, so you can't invest. We'll just loan you the money instead. We'll give it to you free. Interest free. Money's not free, interest free. So now you turn around and you look, now he's gone, and all these companies borrowed all that money interest free, but they still owe the free money, the free interest, the interest-free money. All these corporations doubled their debt. How stupid. This is why you can't grow the economy. Trump is having a tough time. I'm glad he came out and said that today. Remember, I said to you, I must have said, 2-3 times in the last month. He's got to come out and start being square with people and say to people, look, I know the stock market, you're all thrilled it's going up. It's going up. It's going up 8%. It's going up 2,000 points. But please don't give me credit for it. And you're speculating that the tax cuts that I'm going to come out with are going to be, and I'm saying they're terrific. I'm not telling you they're not. But you're overreacting to the tax cuts that I'm going to give you that's going to help everybody. But this is still a very big, fat, ugly bubble that's going to implode, because for me to give you these tax cuts, for me to give you the pipeline, the schools, the roads, the new airports, healthcare, military buildup. We got planes, for God's sakes, that were stripping parts from one plane to put in another plane to keep it in the air. To do that, I have no money. I have none. He left me with nothing. Obama, I inherited my savings accounts. I looked at the savings book we had, the United States, and there's no savings. So he's now put me in a position, put you in a position, put our country in a position. I got to print money for these investments. That's a killer. Because when we print money for these investments, that drops the dollar. When the dollar is low, that's killing us because we import most of our oil. Every day, we're importing oil. And it's so expensive because of the weak dollar. This is killing us. This is killing us. So those deficits, you're going to have to stand by because those deficits are going to implode the economy and implode the stock market. I can't help you. It's going to implode, but we're going to be better after all. But we got to live through it together. We got to live through a 20-30% drop in this market. We've inherited some terrible things, folks. So stop looking at the stock market. Stop. Look at reality. I inherited the worst economic freedom ever. When Obama took this country over, the United States ranked number 6 in economic freedom. You know we dropped to 17th place. When Obama left office, America dropped to 17th place in our ranking as economic freedom. Now, what does that mean? Well, they measure our taxes, how high our taxes are. They measure our increasing debt. They measure how our welfare programs are growing, how large. They measure our regulatory burden. And it's out of sight. So we've gone from, we were at 16, now we dropped down to 17 because we have so many regulations, such high debt, such high taxes, such welfare programs. That's what he inherited. This is what Trump inherited. Never mind the 850,000 jobs. That was so stupid. That was nothing. I bet Trump wished that's all he inherited. As a matter of fact, the report said the substantial expansion in the size and scope of the U.S. government increased regulatory and tax burdens in many of your sectors, and the loss of trust and confidence that has accompanied a growing perception of cronyism have severely undermined Americans' global competitiveness. It went on to say, the report, the anemic economy recovery since the Great Recession has been characterized by lack of labor market. By the lack of the labor market. And depressed levels of investment. So what they're saying is we didn't grow enough good jobs. We're not growing enough $54 an hour jobs that comes from mining, construction, and manufacturing. Instead, we focused on what? Healthcare givers, restaurants, bartenders. Trump also inherited an economy. Think of this, that 7 out of every 10 Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings bank, in a savings account. Can you imagine 7 out of 10 people don't have $1,000 for an emergency? 7 out of 10. Credit card delinquencies have hit the highest level that we've seen since 2012. And 1 million consumers are behind on car loan payments. 1 million. And what did Janet Yellen say the other day? She was bragging about auto sales.
Consumer spending has continued to rise at a healthy pace. Last year's sales of automobiles and light trucks were the highest annual total on record.
But she says nothing about the million people who can't make their payments. She said nothing about how GM, Chrysler, sales are just dropping 17, 20%. Because people have so much debt that even sales have stopped. Trump has inherited a war on business. Trump inherited Obama's war on business. He hated small business and he went to war. He was going to punish them. And boy, did he punish them with uncompetitive rates, taxation, unnecessary rules, regulations. We'll be right back. It is now 15 past the hour here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. Phil'sGang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's Phil'sGang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Put your money to work. Make your investments pay. Listen to Phil Grandy and Phil'sGang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Remember what QE was all about. It was all about propping up asset prices to create a wealth effect in order to get the economy going. Now, the effect of that was probably, why do we say, mixed.
Mixed, yeah, it was mixed, all right. And that's the problem. This is what another thing that Trump inherited that's going to affect the stock market, that's going to give us at least a 20-30% correction over the summer, which Phil's Gang members are going to be ready for because our chart will turn red. It will turn red. Just like, for example, RIG, one of our favorite stocks, RIG. RIG was red, and she started to turn green at around $8. Well, about $8.50. And then she started to turn red again when it was around 15 bucks. So it went. So it was up about 80%. So we had about an 80% rally in this stock. But we didn't have to worry because it turned red. We knew when to get out of this stock. We knew when to get out. It's not hard. I mean, if it turns from green to red, it's pretty simple, isn't it? I mean, it's not a joke. It's not a toy. It works. If you don't believe there's technology that can follow the money, the institutional money that buys these stocks, are you kidding? You don't think there's no technology that can follow the institutional money, and when they pull the money out, you don't think there's technology that tells you that? You got to be nuts to think that. Of course there is. I mean, today, are you kidding? Of course there is. And with that, now you got an edge. With that, you don't have to use these dopes. Depend on these dopes. They call themselves advisors.
What's a financial advisor?
That is a term that means almost nothing. It is somebody who might be a financial planner, or it could be a broker who is really a salesperson.
The vast majority of so-called advisors, around 85%,
are dopes. That's right, dopes. They don't care about you. Why would they care about you? They're making money when you're losing money. That's right. They should tie them to what you make. If an advisor doesn't make money for you, he shouldn't be paid. It's that simple. If that advisor if he loses money, why is he getting paid? But if he's making money, give him 60%. That's the law. That's what the law should be. So, RIG, all you have to know now is, and now she's turned red, so now you just wait until it turns green again. It's that simple. It's so simple that people don't believe it. They don't believe it. Now, Trump, as I said, inherited this mess. And that's what he's talking about today. And he's right, but he's got to get away from the stock market. The stock market will not hold. It's going to implode because it was all QE. Remember what the deal with QE was? Everybody forgets what the deal with quantitative easing was. Nobody remembers it. I remember it quite clearly. In November of 2008, when the stock market was crashing, they came up and they said, we got to do something here. We got to stop this market from crashing. So what we're going to do is let's immediately turn around, print money, and start buying all the bonds that we can so that the yields go down on the bonds, so the interest rates go down on the bonds. And the more we buy, the more the yields go down, and that means they're not going to be attractive. So everybody will get out of the bond market and jump into the stock market, especially all the big countries like Saudis and so forth. And that's what they did. Then they turned around and said, you know what we'll do? Let's lie to everybody. Obama says, look, we're good at lying. Let's do this. Let's tell everybody we're going to do quantitative easing, and what it's going to do is we're going to drive the stock market up. We stop the bleeding by buying all the bonds. By dropping the yields, all the Saudis, Chinese, the Germans, everybody got out of the bond market. Now they're buying stocks. The stock's on its way up. Now we'll turn around and we'll print $3.2 trillion, and we'll take and buy all the stocks. We'll buy all the financial stocks. We'll move the market again. Then we'll take another $6 trillion, and we'll give it all to CEOs and tell them to buy their own stock. We'll push this market up, and when the CEOs see this market go straight up, they'll be so excited they're going to start doing investing. They're going to do capital investment. They're going to buy all kinds of equipment and machinery, and they're going to take this capital investment, and they're going to pour capital investment into their companies, new technology. Wages will go through the roof. People will be out there buying again, investing again, saving again. None of that happened. It was a whole lie. It was a whole lie. It was only meant to help a small segment of the population, the 1 percentile. That's all, because they're the only ones that were left in the market. Only the 1 percentile were left in the market at the end of 2008. Everybody else was out of the market. Even the people with 401ks, they couldn't make money. They were out of their 401ks, or what little money they had, they were borrowing against it to pay for medical bills or pay for insurance or try to keep their house. Most of them were borrowing to try to keep their home from being foreclosed on. So they knew this was all put together to make sure the 1 percentile would make a fortune in the stock market. And these are the people who put Obama in office. And they did. They made $6 trillion. $6 trillion. And what they do with the $6 trillion? Did they invest it? You know how you always hear, boy, the rich, they take the money and they always invest it. They always invest it in the jobs. Boy, if it wasn't for the rich investing in the jobs, don't talk about the rich. They take their money and they always invest it. And that's how we create jobs. What a lie. They take the money and they put in a pile of the same money they've had for years, because they never use their own money, because they use opium. They go to Wall Street and use other people's money. What do you think Wall Street's there for? To raise money. To raise money for them. They never use their own money. And the money they have, they put in a pile because they never spend it, because they got everything they need. How many more boats are they going to buy? How many more jets are they going to buy? This is one of the biggest scams ever. This is what's been holding up the market. This is called fake wealth. Trump inherited a fake wealth. This is all fake. Now we got the Chinese coming in, and they're starting to dump their treasuries. Whoa, that's bad news. Who talked about this about 2 months ago? Me. Can you imagine the Chinese are coming in and they're starting to dump? They're starting to dump all of their, not all, but a great portion of their treasuries. They have about I'll get you the number. It was about 1.7, I think, trillion or 1.2 trillion treasuries. And they're dumping them left and right. Now, what does that mean? What's that mean? I'll tell you when I get back what it means. And it's not good news, but it's good news for the gang, because we're going to make some good money on it. And I'll show you how when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, unlimited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Would you like to know how to secure your financial future? At philsgang.com, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang staff teaches and coaches you to build a successful investing plan to achieve your goals. philsgang.com gives you instruction on how to find low-risk, high-potential investing opportunities in the stock market. If you're new to the stock market and want to master the basics of stock investing and learn how to invest in stocks with little risk, then philsgang.com is your place. Learn from their extensive collection of educational videos about investing strategies and the analysis of charting. Every weekday, philsgang.com hosts live market webinars. They post market updates throughout the day. They have working investor programs and they provide financial updates throughout the day, and all material is archived. For only $39.95 a month, there is no other service like Phil's Gang offers. Start the new year off right. Secure your financial future with philsgang.com. Give them a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, my name is Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You know the stock market goes up 72% of the time? Then why is it that the retail customer, 80% of the time, have lost money? Because they don't know when to get out. And that's why I'm providing a product called my MV2 chart that solves that problem. It's always about when do I get out? That problem has been solved. Check it out, my MV2 chart. Don't miss it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil's subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. The Chinese are now selling $100 billion out of their $1.2 trillion in treasuries. They've done this in the last 2 weeks. Now, they've been doing it, and here's what Trump inherited. When he came in, he knew for the last couple of years the Chinese were dumping our treasury. This is not good stuff, because when they sell the treasury, the interest rates go up on your auto loans, goes up on your business loans, your student loans, all the loans. That hurts the economy unless the economy is growing. If the economy was growing at 4%, even 3.5%, it wouldn't matter if your student loan went up, if wages, if everything went up, because your wages would be going up and you could absorb it. See, that's the thing. We can absorb interest rate hikes as the Chinese sell their treasuries. We shouldn't even sweat it. But we need to grow an economy at 3.5% to 4%. Trump left it at Obama left at 1.5% for 8 years. For 8 years, he never focused on the economy. He focused on Obamacare. He focused on the melting ice up in so far up north in Alaska that the moose even go to the Holiday Inn for the winter. It's so cold up there. So he didn't focus on what was right, what was important to you. You want a good job. You want a good standard of living. You want to be able to meet your payments. You want to put money away in savings. You don't want to have to struggle. He didn't care. So now, and this is why police tell me I'm telling you, the market is going to implode. Why do you think Trump called it the big, fat, ugly market? Because he knows the bubble. He knows it's a bubble, but he got caught up in his own hype. For finally today he came out and he finally said, I better say something.
You know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess. It's a mess at home and abroad. A mess.
So now he's catching on. He's going, oh, my God, I should have never taken credit for the stock market because this market's going to implode because just the deficits alone are going to increase because all the spending I got to do, I got to borrow the darn money. I got to borrow it or I got to print it. That means the deficits are going to implode, which means the stock market's going to implode. That means the reason why the Chinese are dumping their treasuries because they see what I have to do. I got to print money. So they have no confidence. So they're dumping their treasuries. This is all because Obama didn't save money. So I don't care. Because when give you an example. Walmart, wonderful stock. When Walmart turned red at $72, from green to red at $72, then we knew Walmart was going to go down. Do you think your advisor would tell you that? Do you think your financial advisor would tell you that? Are you kidding? Why would he?
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
Yeah, you're not included in that group. Why would he tell you to get out? He's not going to tell you to get out because if he's managing $10 million and you and everybody else starts getting out and it goes down to $8 million, he makes less money. So why would he tell you to get out of Walmart? But not only would you have gotten out, but you would have shorted. Push a little button. It says sell short. You don't even have to know what it means. You don't have to know what it means. And then when it turns green, you push another button. It says buy it back. So even if you didn't do that, even if you waited to turn green again, even if you waited to turn green, she just started to turn green. She's up 4% now. Now, that's Walmart. But the beautiful thing is, guess what? The beautiful thing is you'll know when to get out. I can't get that across enough. Now, listen to this dope.
Hey, Jim. My stock is Hershey, which is now producing...
Stay long, Hershey. We like Hershey. It's a great long-term situation.
He likes Hershey. It's a great long-term situation. How does he know that? I don't know that. You don't know that. If we dug J.P. Morgan up, he wouldn't know. So Hershey was red. Hershey dropped from $112 all the way down to $94. $112 down to $94. Thank God it turned red. So $112 down to $94, that's probably about, 20% drop. Or 16% drop. But we were out. Some students were smart. Why get out? Hit the little that says sell short. Boom. Picked up even 10%. Now it turned green. Now get this. So it turned green at $95 or $94. And then it went up to, from 94, it went up to $106. 94 to $106. That's a 12% return. But guess what? It turned red. Told you to get out. But here's what's even better. It kept going up. So it's red and it's still going up, which means most people would have stayed in the stock because they saw it keep going up. So if it was 100, if it turned red at 104, then it went up. Then it was 105, 106, 107, 108. People would have stayed in. But see, the red tells you no, it's going up, but there's not enough money coming in. It's going up, but there's not enough money coming in. Stay away from it. You can't sustain that rally. So when the stock is, that's the beautiful thing about the chart, because when the stock goes from 104 to say 109. You're saying, well, this is good. I should be in that stock. No, you shouldn't be in it. It's red. So that's the beauty. You stop listening to these people. So when this market implodes, and if somebody can tell me it's not going to implode, really? So when Trump does all this investing, and he's got to borrow the money, and he's got to print the money, and now that the 10-year Treasury yield, the Chinese are dropping, dumping their treasuries, their interest rates are going up. Wow. So that means what he inherited was a national debt from 10 trillion to 20 trillion. Now, as those yields go up, the 10-year treasuries, they sell them, the yield, the interest rate, same thing as yield, goes up. That means that now we, the taxpayer, instead of paying $237 billion in interest just on that money we borrowed, okay, to pay that 20 trillion, we're going to go from 237 to 337. We're going to have $100 billion increase. And you're telling me the market's not going to implode? Oh, they're going to do more QE. I see. They're going to print more money and buy more stocks. Do that again. Just keep buying stocks. Keep buying their own stock. Oh, but they tell us the stock market's not overbought. Oh, you want to believe them.
Just because vol is low, that means we're on the verge of an accident. Quite the opposite historically. Remember, it's been 3 years, almost 4 years, since the market was actually overbought. People
really 3 years, 4 years overbought? How about this? The trailing and the trailing PE ratio and the forward PE ratio, on average, are 18% overvalued. So what's he talking about? You want to put your money with this guy? You think he's going to tell you when to get out? Because the rules he plays by.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
Oh, so you think this guy's going to tell you when to get out? Oh, he's telling you, oh, the market's not overbought. Of course it's overbought. You got to be an idiot not to think it's overbought. How's it not overbought when wages have not gone up? If wages aren't increasing, tell me something. We haven't had a wage hike, in 20 years. So wages aren't going up. People can't look at. They're not building houses. Why aren't they building houses? If this market is not too high, then tell me this: why aren't they building houses? Because wages aren't going up. So builders know, why should I build a house, especially from that 170, 125 to 275 area where it's the hot market? Why should I build houses? Because wages aren't going up. And because wages aren't going up, they can't keep up. So they're not building houses, so that means there's no supply. And because there's no supply, the existing houses, they're skyrocketing in prices. But people can't buy them because their wages aren't going up. So we got less inventory. Prices are going through the roof. People can't afford them. And so they got to go rent. And rent is skyrocketing. Oh, but the market's not overbought. I see. It's a real deal. Right now, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. Just know when to get out.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. If you're a Phil's Gang member or a fan of the Phil's Gang Show, then you need the all-new Phil's Gang hat. Now available in a variety of colors and cool comfort styles for only $25. You can show your Phil's Gang pride with the stylish Are You Nuts hat or Phil's Gang logo hat. Don't wait. Go to philsgang.com and click on the shopping cart icon to order your hat today or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Vest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Vest is they follow the important money. The hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market. Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so look, we're talking about today the market has no choice. It's not sustainable. This has not been sustainable since 2008. It's been the low interest rates. It's been the QE, the low interest rates, the buying their own shares back, to providing this low rate money to companies, to the rich. And it's over because interest rates are going up. On top of that, the deficits are all going to go up with the investments that Trump's going to make. There is no way that the deficits aren't going to go up. And why do you think the Chinese are dumping their treasuries? Because they know what I'm telling you is true. Because all the investing into the military, into the schools and the highways and all that investing in the wall, all this money, it's got to come from somewhere. It should come from savings. Then there'd be no problem. But because it doesn't, now the deficits rise. That's going to implode the stock market. The Chinese saying, I'm out of my bonds, okay, my treasuries, I'm dumping my treasuries, and interest rates are starting to go up. Now what is going to happen? Now we're going to try to stop them from dumping their treasuries. That's the last thing you want, because everything goes up. Your payments go up on everything. Not now. We haven't grown the economy. Economy's at 1.5%. Your wages haven't gone up. The economy hasn't gone up. But now the price of food's going to go up. Price of clothing's going to go up. How can you absorb it if your wages didn't go up? Fuel's going to start going up. How do you absorb? You can't. So the economy implodes. That's called, because what happens, all of a sudden people only can buy the necessities. Prices start to drop. That's called deflation. And when prices start to drop, people stop buying just because they're only buying what they absolutely have to. And prices deflate, people get laid off. And when people get laid off, what happens? That's right, you go into a recession. And the higher you bring up interest rates, as the Chinese and other countries and the Saudis are dumping these treasuries, and the interest rates are going up, people have to make a decision. Do I keep my car? Do I pay my gasoline? What do I not pay? This all starts, there's the whole 230% rally we had in the stock market, all fake, but it was wonderful. But everything comes to an end. All comes to an end. So all you want to do is, as long as they keep pushing this market higher every day with the fantasy, with the hope that all this tax burden, okay, we're going to have this, they're going to, all the all the regulatory stuff is going to go away. All the tax burden's going to go away. All the good stuff that Trump's going to do, they're hyping it up so much. It's going to be like everybody's living in Disneyland. So everybody's buying on the rumor. That's what you do. But all you got to know is when to get out. I'm not saying don't go buy the stock market right now because it's going to implode in the summer. I'm not saying that at all. We get out, we'll get the signals to get out in time. So in the meantime, while these crazy people keep driving this market up, what, are you not going to buy stocks? What are you, nuts? You're not going to buy stocks. You're scared. Why are you scared? It's always because I don't want to get in and not get out in time. I just took care of that for you. I designed a chart that tells you you're going to be out in time. The MV2, so try it. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. 877-600-GANG. I'm not lying to you. It's right there. Now, listen to this. This is unbelievable. This tells you why the market's going to crash. Listen to this. This is unbelievable.
Is this American economy in your classic textbook, is this normal economics that we're living today?
As of now...
Wait a minute. First, I want you to hear when the guy asked the question and then how sophisticated he answers this.
Is this American economy in your classic textbook, is this normal economics that we're living today?
As of now, we haven't seen a major change in the environment in which we're working. We're expecting the economy to warm up. The election results may have had some effect on how rapidly it seemed to warm up, but we're dealing...
Oh, shut up. How does the economy going to warm up? What warms up the economy? What warms up the economy? Growth. Where does growth come from? CEOs putting money in their company. Why would CEOs put money in their company? For new machinery and so forth. They're not. They're buying their own stock back and making a fortune. What's he talking about? Warming up. The market's up 230%, but the stock market's up 230%, but our economy grew 1.5%. Please vision that. Please envision that. Envision that you put on one side of the ledger, put a line, and draw it up 230%. Now that's the stock market rally. Now put next to it another little line, goes up 1.5%. So our economy grew 1.5%, but our stocks went up 230%. Please tell me how that works. How's that sustainable? And Fisher is a liar. He's been on the Fed. He's been lying to us forever. He's been lying to us forever, this guy. He's a liar. But think about that. You got stocks going up, but you haven't got wages going up. You haven't got earnings going up. You haven't got profits going up. And you haven't got, you've got, there is just absolutely no plan, energy plan, anywhere that's going to cut the burden of all that oil that we bring in every day that's costing us a fortune because we have such a low dollar. And when we have a low dollar, because we print money, the dollar goes down, it gets even weaker. And when we keep printing, the dollar gets weaker. That means the oil gets more expensive. As oil gets more expensive, our economy, what happens? It can't grow. So let's put all this crap aside and say one thing. Take 5 stocks and follow me. And when they're green, you buy. When they're red, you get out. That's simple. Duke Energy. Duke Energy turned green. Duke Energy dropped. It was first red. And Duke Energy dropped about 6%. 4%. About 4%. Duke Energy turned red and dropped 4%. And then waited till it turned green, and now it's up 8%. Well, how nice is that? You knew not to buy it because it was dropping, it was red. But you knew when to buy it, but now you can relax. Because now you know you've got a profit of 8% in Duke Energy. What, are you going to wait for some genius like Kramer to come out and tell you to buy? Or tell you to sell? Tell you to take profits? You're going to read what, Barron's? You think Barron's is going to tell you? Anything you read in Barron's, anything you hear on CNBC, anything you hear on Fox or Bulls and Bears, all old news. All old news. It's old. It's like in the morning you see the market's up 100 points. And people, I better get in, it's up 100 points. Wait a minute, that's old news. It's already posted 100. You wanted to be in it before it went up to 100, dope. You wanted to be in before it got to 100, you idiot. I better get in, it's 100 points. I better get in before it goes up any further. I better get in. And you want to know why you lose money. You've got to get in before. Well, how do you know? It's the institutions are buying it. So it turned from red to green. Look, I don't care what the economy does. It's pretty simple. If our wages don't go up, and how does our wages not go up? Why are our wages the same? Why aren't you getting overtime? Because companies in this country are not giving you new equipment at your place of work. They're not giving you new technology. They're not giving you new machines. Not giving you anything to produce more, so that now the company makes more, and now you make more. Since Obama's been president, we haven't seen that. Now Trump comes in, and he's got to inherit all this stuff, and he's got everybody excited, and the stock market goes up since election night. It goes up 2,000 points, and now he starts hugging the rally. He says, look at this, look how great I am, look what I did, the rally. And then today he goes, oh boy, did I screw up. Then he gets on national television to tell, I better tell everybody, boy, I bought the messed up mess here.
You know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess.
That's right. See, he figured it out. He screwed up. He should have been warning everybody that this market, like he did when he was running for president, he said, this is a big, fat, ugly bubble, and it's going to implode because interest rates have been artificially low. He forgot, didn't he? You didn't forget. I didn't forget. So here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Call right now. Let me work with you for just 30 days. It works. The chart works. 877-600-GANG. Check it out.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.